Hey buddy, it's Peter. I'm actually filming this clip right before, or right after I finished filming the rest of this video. And then halfway through this video, I just thought it'd be cool to do something. So at the end of this video, I'm gonna ask you what I'm asking now. If you could have this vehicle as equipped, and I'm gonna go through what's in it in this video. If you could have this vehicle as equipped right now for a weekend, what would you do with it? Fill the comment section with that. Here's the review. And at the end, I'm gonna ask you again, fill the comment section with, if you could have this for a weekend as equipped, what would you do with it? All right, here's the video. Hey everybody, it's Peter, and this is the 2024 Can-Am Outlander XT, totally stock. Of course it's not stock at all. In this review, what we're gonna do is not so much talk about just the specs that are on this, obviously the tracks stand out, but there's so many accessories on this, and a lot of time when I talk about the Can-Am ATVs specifically, I really talk about the accessories that kind of make it into something that you really want it to be. And when you think about where this started and where it is now, there's just so many differences in this. So what we're gonna do in this relatively shorter review is we're gonna review some of the accessories that are on this to help inspire you about some of the things that you could put on your ride or device or whatever you've got. So what's cool about Can-Am is they link accessories, L-I-N-Q. Some of the accessories that would fit on this would also fit on your Ski-Doo, or would also fit on your Sea-Doo, or would also fit on all sorts of other products, even your Can-Am Spyder or Can-Am Ryker. So what's cool about all of these accessories is they kind of go across the range, and what that means is that Can-Am is a real leader in their products and in their accessories, and that allows them to take a base unit of what this is, the Outlander, and really turn it into anything you want. So again, this is more about inspiring you, showing you a couple things that you can do with accessories. This is a sold unit. This was done up for a customer like this. This is a commercial customer. They have very specific commercial purposes for this kind of unit, and it's more than just tracks, like I said. So I'm filming here at Extreme Torque Motorsports. This is their Fredericton location. There's 3 locations in New Brunswick. If you want to get something like this or get your Outlander done up, these guys are absolutely awesome. Their team is amazing at walking you through not just what the product is, but what the accessories are, how it works, how it can benefit you, and also kind of putting that deal together for you. They're super, super awesome. I highly recommend them. But we're gonna go through with a sort of accessory review of this unit. Let's start. All right, so let's start with the tracks. And again, this is all Can-Am branded stuff, and that's what's pretty cool. You're not going to a separate accessory department to deal with, getting all these things. So again, you're buying something that's built for this unit. So first of all, what do these do? Why would you even put them on? And let's talk about some practicalities of it. And there's some impracticalities. We'll kind of leave that out. You can kind of figure out some of those. Obviously, tracks aren't as good as wheels in some situations, but the wheels that are traditionally on this are about 26 inch. So the rubber from the diameter bottom to top is 26 inches. And you can see, you can see your disc brakes in here, this Can-Am branded piece here, that what it does is it obviously gives you a lot of traction on the ground. This is great for snow, but it's great for mud. We'll talk about that in a second. The one unintended benefit that you get from these is it also gives you tremendous ground clearance. So right away, you've raised your ground clearance up and given yourself the ability to get over and through more obstacles. And then of course, the benefit of tracks overall is you have so much more rubber on the road, or essentially rubber on the trail, rubber on the snow, whatever you want it to be. What's cool about this is it gives you that snowmobile-like flotation over snow, but it also is really good in that in-between season. So the snow's starting to melt, you're going through a lot of mud. Mud can get, everywhere. This can allow you to go through the mud and the swampy areas and that kind of thing because you've got that ground clearance and you've got so much more traction. So just super cool to have them on here. And again, a real benefit of having them in the Can-Am name is if anything goes wrong with these tracks, you're taking it to the same dealer who has the same supplier to deal with the same parts distribution network to deal with things here. So really cool system. You got some suspension in there just to kind of keep everything kind of in and on the road, or on the trail, I should say. And then of course you're using the standard suspension on this unit to sort of keep the everything kind of smooth and in line that way. So very cool system. I'm not a track expert, but I'm just gonna say these things are absolutely monster truck-like. They're super cool. Let's look at a few more practical things for the average consumer. So the next thing I want to show you is this rack across the front. Now I will put in a list of everything at the end of this video of everything that's on this unit. So again, I'm not using the proper Can-Am names, but I want to sort of show you again how this is cool. A lot of people would put like a box out front to sort of hold things, and you do have a box in here. We're going to talk about that as well. What's cool about this rack though is it is quick interchangeable, for instance. So you can pop these sort of link systems here. You can spin them locked on, locked off. It takes a little bit more effort than that. Locked on, locked off. So I've unlocked it now. We'll lock it up like that. that. And that whole rack now is fully secure, built on the thing. I can shake the entire unit on it. And again, it gives you the option to sort of tie things down instead of having a box that sort of locks types of things in. So very cool system there to have that quick release. Now let's take a look inside what you've got here, because this box inside here actually has a couple cool features as well. All right, so we're looking inside that rack right now, and what I love about this, again, this link system, you can sort of see the LINQ system there. As you have this system here, it's got very good closures, so you can pop these sort of open here. We're gonna show you them in a second when we close it again. Open this up, and then back here, this is pretty cool. You can pop that open and it holds things open. Now you can see here we've got our rear grips in there that come standard with the unit. We're gonna talk about them in a second because we've got heated grips on this unit here. But just looking at this here, you've got a nice gasket, can't really show you there, but a nice old rubber gasket. It's going to help keep some water out of this unit right here. And you have that sort of under the main hood area, or that sort of front rack area, that sits a little deeper and gives you some storage in there. So it's kind of cool. And again, having the convenience of having that piece hold up, especially with this rear rack in the front, right? Because you'd be holding it up and then kind of having trouble getting through with this rack here, or the front rack here. So really cool system there. And there's pieces like this little tie down in here. You've got you know, a little tie down wrap that you can tie things to the top there, maybe like a oh, I don't know, like an axe or tools or other kind of things in there. And then what's cool is when you spin this down and close this down again, this is a slam latch, which you can kind of slam it like shut like that. If I didn't slam it quite perfect. But the other thing is cool, you can push this down to ensure that it's locked. So you can push it down like that and sort of really seat it properly on that rubber gasket. So you've got some waterproofness, or at least water resistance. I don't know if it's fully waterproof, but it's certainly water resistant in there, and it's flush. And now when you don't have what we're looking at next, this extra windshield and dash piece, which we'll talk about next, when you don't have that there, your normal view from the driver would give you that good view down. So again, we'd be able to look straight down here without having a big high piece up and have good view out the front. So especially with something with a raised front end, because of that higher suspension, you can kind of get that good view to the nose of this without having it too much raised up and lose too much forward visibility. All right, let's talk about what we've got in front of us here. It's a lot more than just a windshield. So what you're looking at right now with the windshield attached, the windshield is an accessory, but it's the Can-Am console extension. So normally the dash is kind of down here, which it still is, but now you have this extension that comes up, and this thing is pretty cool as well. We're gonna zoom in just for a second, take a look at the side here. As you look at the handle right here, you can pop this open as well, and that is a storage space inside. Now you can see how deep it is. It kind of comes in and comes around. We'll come back to that. So it kind of comes in and goes around in there. And what's cool about this is there is a little bit of a tie down in there. I don't know if you can sort of see what I'm seeing there. We'll zoom in again for you. Let's just kind of zoom in over here. Oops, just doing a little bit, having some trouble here with the camera. But you can see here, you've got a little extra tie down kind of built in there. It gives you a little, you know, way to tie your keys or something like that in there. But what's cool to me is it looks to me like you could mount a GPS unit on the front of that as well, and that would give you a little extra navigation, a little extra pieces up there. And again, it gives you some space in behind. So pretty cool system there, allowing you to sort of mount things. And then because it raises things up, once you put your windshield mount on here, again, this thing's made for cold weather driving, gives you a little bit extra protection from the elements with that windshield sitting nice and tall, as opposed to having it down lower like you would have if it didn't have that console extension. So cool pieces in there. Let's take a look at a few more cool accessories on this unit. All right, so we know this model can take two people here. You've got the footsteps there, you've got the double seats there. We're gonna look at the back accessory in a second, but let's just take a look at the driver area. I'm gonna go full wide angle for a second here as we jump on this unit. Of course, super tall, really commanding riding position. So there's that console again and that windshield. Now again, I'm looking out sort of straight level from my eyes. Just to give you an idea, my eyes are about here over the windshield. The windshield is just down there. So again, I'm seeing over it and through it. And again, we talked about that view. If I'm standing up here, which is what I'm doing right now, and looking down over the front, if that front rack was a box, you can see how much visibility I would lose for right in front of me. Now I can look down like this. I'm keeping this in line with what my eyes can see, and I can look right down in front of the unit because this box here is not raised up. It's still inside storage or out of the weather storage, and then you've got that rack out there. So again, all of that stuff kind of comes together nicely. And again, it's all built for this unit. So again, this is a commercial unit. So this is actually one of a couple that they bought for this organization that bought this. So they've thrown the Can-Am mirrors on here, which are super helpful. You can see, actually it's pretty good. I'm leaning back to film, so you can see my shoulder in the mirror, and you can see my shoulder in this mirror here, but if I sort of have it adjusted where I need to, they stay well clear of my shoulders, and I can see over the back of the unit. So you have the mirrors right there to see what's going behind you. And I do think that this organization missed one key piece. They did put on the heated grips. You can see those Can-Am heated grips here. Really nice tactile feel to the button that's right on the grips, so you can sort of see what you're doing there with the levers there. One thing I think they missed is the covers here. I'm pretty sure you can get hand covers there. I think that's what I would have put on. If you're gonna go all out, why not go all the way out, right? So you do have that. And then again, this unit itself is pretty good. You've got LED lights built into this unit, so you've got the bright white LED headlights anyways, so you don't have to add accessory lighting, but if you wanted to add accessory lighting, there's lots of places down here to do that and have it fully accessible to you. So again, it's already built up, ready to be customized up. We should point out that it's not just the heated grips here, it's the throttle as well. So you've got heated grips and heated throttle there for the driver. But again, this is a commercial use. It's not just going to send one person out on this unit, they're going to send another person out on this unit. So let's flip the camera around. In fact, let's just see if we can do it in one shot here. Let's flip the camera around, keep coming around, and see, this is what I'm talking about here. This is what I think they should have done on the front as well. Have these hand guards here. So these hand guards here are not plastic. I mean, they probably are plastic, but they have a rubbery feel to them. So they can take the abuse of hitting something like sticks or rocks or whatever else is going on here. And I should mention as well, speaking of taking some abuse, the regular Outlander has the painted edge to the finish. This has the fender extenders out there, so the extra lip out there to give a little extra width. Again, it almost covers the tracks in line. You can kind of see the tracks in line right about there. Well, it's hard to show you with the wide angle camera, kind of skews it a little bit, but it does give you a little bit extra protection and a little bit of rub protection, so you're not scratching the paint when you're going through things. But again, making sure your hands are protected, not just from the wind, but also from various things. Now, what's cool about these rear grips is, like I said earlier, the front grips are in the front sort of trunk there. You can see here, this is filming upside down here, but you've got the on and the high, and then on and off, right? So you can turn those all on. So there's regular on, there's on in the high position, the off position in the middle. And again, so you have those heated grips for that passenger area, which is super cool because you've got that protection from wrapping around the side all the way around to the front, and multiple hand positions, all of that heated as well. And then of course, you've got that rear seat here. Let's go fully wide angle here. That looks like it can just pop off right there. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but again, the rear seat. So this is a very comfortable rear seat, and it is it does rise above the driver's seat. So I'm sitting backwards on the seat right now to sort of show you this, but this does sit higher, which allows that rear passenger to have a little bit of a view over the front passenger. And then you've got this tall box at the back. Let's take a look at that right now. All right, so we're still kind of wide angle here. It's just hard to show how awesome this vehicle looks in person when you just show it on camera. And again, the wide angle kind of skews the view here. We're gonna talk about the hitch in a second, but let's dig in here. First of all, this rear box does lock with a key, so you've got that option there. What's cool is a lot of these have these sort of like rubbery tab type things that are kind of flimsy. These are still rubbery, but they've got that extra little sort of plasticky piece on here that makes it just feels higher quality than some of the aftermarket ones that are available to you. And of course, let's go wide angle again here. You zip this open and you've got all kinds of space in here. So what's cool about this is you do have a rubber gasket on the top that's nice and squishy right there, and that mounts onto this plastic area right here. Now you've got all kinds of accessories in here, so we won't show you too much, but let's see if we can kind of show you. If I zoom in, let's see if the camera will adapt. Again, that screw piece there can spin on and off, so if you wanted to take this piece off, it's very easy to attach that and have it removed. So again, I'll have to double check the liters of cargo space in this. I think it's, we'll check my spec in a second there. Actually, you'll see it at the end of the video when we show you the clip of the accessories. But you do have a ton of enclosed storage space in there as well, and that's all behind the rider, again, sort of balancing everything out there. But let's take a look at down here. You've got good towing capacity. Now, I haven't checked the specs. I assume that your towing capacity might be lowered with these tracks, but I don't know about that for sure. But you do have the accessory hitch there, so you've got some practicality, being able to tow some things as well. You know, normally this has a pretty good towing capacity. Again, I'm not sure if the tracks lower that, but it will certainly give you good traction. But you do have a 2-inch towing capacity, so you can tow something that's gonna hook up to a pickup truck. You can throw that right on the 2-inch ball there and continue to tow this out into the wilderness. So a lot of practicality built in this. One thing that's worth noting too is sort of the brake lighting there too, quality LED lighting on this unit as well. So I filmed this video because Luke here at Torque Motorsports called me up and said, hey, do you want to film something that looks pretty cool? And he sent me a picture and I'm like, yes, I absolutely do. But like, I don't really know how to review this for you. Obviously this has a very specific purpose, but let's have some fun with this. Let's fill the comment section. If you got this thing for free for a weekend, what would you do with it? Let me know in the comment section here. Tell me all the creative things you could do. And then maybe in the spring, summer, fall, I'll take one of your ideas and pass it on to these guys and see if we can make a video doing something cool with this. So that's my thought. This thing's pretty cool. I had to see it in person. I had to show you guys. But yeah, let me know. What would you do with this? If you had this for a weekend or even just an afternoon, what would you do with it? Where would you go? What would you do? Who would you take? Let me know in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.